respecting others, of course, and the egalitarian movement is very important. Yet, when we design for another culture, we have to see where they are and not where we want them to be. Yeah. It's where they need to be. Does this make sense? So I lived for a while in the United States before I went back to the Middle East. And I lived in ashrams and the egalitarian movement, and I was so happy and blissful and everything. And I wanted to take my egalitarian value systems to the Middle East. It doesn't work. Me, I'm an Arab and I know where I come from and everything, but I was like, oh, holier than thou. And I went back and people did not respect me.
Some of the answers, and I can help them. Do you have any questions about the Arab Spring? Okay, let me.
Where can we get accurate information about what's happening with Arab Spring?
Go on my Facebook. I don't know. I mean, I read a lot of European newspapers. I read the Arabic newspapers, and I synthesize all of that. So here's what we do. When we don't look at the geographic maps of the Arab world, we look at the geography because geography is very important, and we tilt the map on its side, and we look at a mimetic side view. I know big words, I'll explain them. We look at a mimetic side view of each culture. Let me give you an example that I know most. It's Palestine and Israel. Palestine, for whatever reason, is stuck in the power god self value system. And Israel, for whatever reason, I don't know if you support Israel, if you support Palestine, I don't support any. I'm pro-emergence. I'm pro-development. So if Israel wants to develop, I'm pro that. If Palestine wants to develop, I'm pro that. So we looked at their mimetic. A meme is a cultural gene, a cultural unit. Like we have genes in our body that define, our face, our eyes, etc. We have cultural units, and now we can hear memes a lot. Even Huffington Post is talking about memes. So we tilt the culture on its side, and we see that Palestine and Palestinians
first, we have to study the profiles of the citizens of every country, their mimetic profiles, identifying each country's zone of synergy. For example, Egypt. What does Egypt have? Tourism. When Google goes to Israel, it goes directly, next after Israel, it goes to Egypt, because these kids are unbelievable. And they're great hackers, by the way. And we have to study the forms of governance that suit the Egyptian model. And that's what I'm planning to do with Jean Houston, with the young revolutionaries, hopefully when we get some funds. Pursue a systemic approach to economic development. Really, that will be an advice to the IFC, the World Bank, etc. Maximize the use of technologies, and most importantly, building a viable Palestinian state. And that's why we're working on Build Palestine initiative. Many people say, why aren't you working in Israel? Well, Israel are doing fine. We need to build capacities in Palestinians to take them. When they sit at the negotiation table, this is what you see. Israel, first world, and rightfully so, for whatever reason, and Palestine, third world. So what we're doing, we went to build capacities in the Palestinians, and the response, I wish I can show you pictures, the response was unbelievable. When we went the second time to Palestine, Dr. Beck and I, some journalists said, come, we want to take you next to the wall and take your picture so you can take it to America. I looked at them, I said, I refuse. Because I don't see victims here. I see brilliant young men and women who are highly educated. Many of them have master's degrees, PhDs, who are vibrant. Ramallah is almost like Beirut. It's party city. And I don't see victims here. And I told them, I think if, and as an Arab sister, I can tell them that. Don't go as Americans tell them that, unless you gain their trust. I see people who can build their capacities and march towards the government and demand to design their own state, designed by the Palestinians for Palestinians. So in one of the articles I wrote to the Huffington Post, I say here, I called it Arab-style democracy, the answer to the post-dictatorship era. I say, this revolution is one that is toppling the old patriarchy and has little chance of succeeding if women are not given a voice as an equal partner in society. Women power. And I tell you, in every project I work in the Middle East, in Syria, in Kuwait, in Dubai, in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Palestine, women emerge as natural leaders. I don't set out to work with women. Many people think, oh, Elsa, you're so sweet, you work with women. I don't. They emerge as leaders themselves, and they organize. They're you know, right on the money. They know what to do, and they're leaders. I work with leaders of businesses. I work on business reform, political reform, and societal reform. And leaders, yes, we're here. And most of them are women, and these are family businesses. The brothers, sorry to say, are losers, and and the women emerge as the leaders, and they clean up after their brothers. Okay, can we go to the third to the next slide and the one after? Sure. This is the son of Mandela of Palestine. This is Qassam. He came to one of our training, and he just left prison. He was in prison for 3 years in Israeli jails. He was demonstrating. They put him in prison. His dad created a university like Robben Island University that Mandela created. He created it with our partner, Nafiz Rifa'i, in jail. and they read books, they read political theories, they read Marxism, everything. They learn Hebrew, they learn English, so they're benefiting. Hopefully when they come out, they can do something wonderful. When we showed, the spiral dynamics theory is all about colors. When we showed the colors to Qassam, we say, do a mimetic profile of a value systems profile of Israel.